2022 Cadillac xt6 Preview, Changes, Features, Specs. The last year launch didn't bring expected reception, at least in the eyes of Cadillac's management. We saw mostly mixed reviews, so it wouldn't be a surprise to see some changes already for the 2022 Cadillac xt6. After all, the second model year has already brought a new engine, so we presume that GM could focus on some other aspects in the near future as well. At this point, it's still early to talk about more specific details. Still, these potential updates certainly won't change the overall picture. We are about to see the same overall design, which is heavily based on GMC Acadia. This SUV looks good and it is quite comfortable. However, it isn't without drawbacks, especially when compared with better models in the class. Compared to German competitors, it lacks refinement and isn't as fun to drive. Also, the list of standard safety features should be longer. Some critics even claim that this crossover is a little bit overpriced, considering what it gives in return. 2022 Cadillac xt6 design. Despite the potential changes, the next year certainly won't bring any particular change in terms of base design characteristics. You may count on the same layout, which is based on GMC Acadia. This means it rides on a familiar C1 architecture and features around 112.5 inches in wheelbase. Of course, we are talking about an FWD layout, which many consider a drawback considering that premium models in this class are usually based on an RWD platform. Fortunately, AWD is available, but that still doesn't change the character of this SUV. It definitely isn't too engaging to drive, but on the other side, the ride is smooth and very comfortable. In terms of aesthetics, we don't expect to see changes for the next year. The current model looks pretty good, as it follows the brand's latest design language, established by the new Escalade. Interior. On the inside, we don't expect bigger changes either. Therefore, you may count on the same layout, which looks good and utilizes some pretty nice materials. However, the overall quality isn't on par with models like Audi Q7 or Mercedes GLE, which still look far more premium. This model is rather comparable with models from Lincoln and some Japanese premium brands. On the other side, the sound insulation is really good and that's something we really like. The driving position is good, as well as visibility. When it comes to 2022 Cadillac xt6 interior dimensions, we won't see changes, of course. Given the wheelbase, it's no surprise that the first two rows are pretty good in terms of passenger space, while the third one is a little bit short in terms of legroom. It offers around 29.5 inches in the third row, which doesn't seem enough for a convenient ride on longer journeys, at least not for adults. With all seats in use, you won't have too much cargo space to use, as there are only 12.5 cubic feet left. Things are much better when third row seats fold down. Then the cargo capacity goes up to 43.1 cubic feet. The total cargo volume goes up to 78.7 cubic feet. Features. This is where we could see some more important changes for the next year, and that particularly refers to safety. The current model isn't particularly generous in this aspect. Currently, the list of standard safety features includes things like a rear-view camera, forward collision warning, automatic emergency braking, front pedestrian detection, front and rear parking sensors, lane keep assist, lane departure warning, blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, etc. That seems quite long, but compared to the competition, it's easy to notice the lack of some essentials, such as adaptive cruise control. This feature is currently on the list of options, along with features like a head-up display, reverse automatic emergency braking, and night vision infrared pedestrian and large animal detection, rear pedestrian braking, automatic park assist, etc. 2022 Cadillac xt6 engines. On the other side, we don't expect bigger changes in terms of 2022 Cadillac xt6 engine lineup. The second production year has brought a 2.0-liter turbo 4, which puts out 237 horsepower. This engine is more efficient than the V6 and also more affordable. It isn't as peppy but certainly does the job well when it comes to daily commuting. On the other side, the V6 is more powerful and runs smoother. It is good for about 310 horsepower and just like the Turbo 4, it comes in pair with a 9-speed automatic transmission. The V6 returns around 18 mpg in the city and 25 mpg on the highway. Those are typical ratings for the class. Some reports suggest the possibility to see some form of electrification in the future, but currently, officials are still quiet about the 2022 Cadillac xt6 hybrid or something like that. 2022 Cadillac xt6 release date and price. We expect that the 2022 Cadillac xt6 price will remain pretty similar to the current model, which starts at around $49,000. It should hit the market sometime in the second half of 2021.